by supporting it and say that this Senate, I think we are creating a very bad precedent. I have observed very carefully, Madam Speaker, that members have brought here a motion of adjournment to discuss very serious issues. But when the motion is put, we don't get to discuss the substantiveness of the issues in that motion. We degenerate into our political parties and we lose the entire idea of bringing up the adjournment motion. I want to say this is a very serious matter, Madam Speaker. And I want to disagree with the members who have spoken earlier, particularly the majority whip, who said that this is not a government problem. I want to state here that this is a government problem. And I'm saying this because...
What is your point of clarification, Senator Kavintu?
Madam Speaker, I still insist that
Senator Thangwa should come out and say clearly what he means when he says maybe the motion is for, no, when he says the motion is for protecting criminals. I'm not here to protect any criminal. I am here to defend my people of Machakos.
Senator Agnes Kavindu, I have given a direction on that matter. Senator Karongo was responding to the issue of the political party, and I gave a guidance that his response was on the political party aspect. So, Senator Osoti, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, exactly that's the point I was putting across. When we have a motion of adjournment, I think we need to act very seriously and responsible so that we get the results of what we are discussing. On this particular motion, Madam Speaker, this is a very serious matter.
yes,
A serious matter where hundreds of families are sleeping in the cold.
yes,
El Nino is just about to come. They have nowhere to call home. And when someone says this is not a government problem, then we ask, where was the government when this land was being sold to these people?
yes, and been here.
Where was the government when schools were being licensed in this area? There is a lot to say about this. And Madam Speaker, in fact, this matter taken as an inquiry by this House.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the chairperson of the committee that is supposed to be doing an inquiry on this matter, he is the one who is taking this matter very lightly on this floor, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, November last year, one Honorable Moses Kuria, the former CS for Trade, issued a threat that these people are going to be evicted, that they wanted to demolish the houses in that land,
Yes.
because the government wants to put up a cargo airport. Madam Speaker, why do we need a cargo airport in Mavoko when we have enough land at JKIA for expansion? We can put a cargo airport there. And Madam Speaker, this land, if you go into the history of this land was donated to Portland by the community,
Yes.
to mine
And a lease.
and a lease, so that they mine, at the end of the mining exercise, the land reverts to the community. Now they are coming and getting the land from the community back to Portland by force. Madam Speaker, I want to request that this matter be handled by an inquiry of this House so that we get to the bottom of this matter, because this matter has been on for some time. I remember during the last government, President Uhuru's government, there was a similar arrangement to evict the people. But President Uhuru decided that these people will continue occupying the land. But this government that came to power on the basis of protecting hustlers, on the basis of ensuring there will be no eviction, it is the worst eviction that we have ever witnessed as a country since independence. This is worse than the Kariobangi one that was done some time back. Madam Speaker, this is a very serious matter, and I want us as senators not to discuss this matter as if we are protecting our various political parties. We are here to protect matters that affect Kenyans. And this is one matter that affects Kenyans. Mavoko, that land, if you go there, you find every community there. I have my people from Vihiga County who have bought land there. Where was the government? Why were they issuing titles in that land? We need the Ministry of Land, the ministry in charge of
Senator Gloria Uroba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think today one thing we all agree in this House is that we have a systematic problem of land injustices. That one we all agree. As a matter of fact, I have said this repeatedly, that Kenya has actually been built on systematic acts of land grabbing. Once we have acknowledged that, which we all acknowledge, is that these injustices cannot be resolved by protecting fraudsters. It cannot. I have had my colleagues asking, where was the government? I have had some of them even referencing the former president, saying the former president said that they stay. Protecting fraudsters, protecting people who have conned Kenyans. But when we have a government that has finally acknowledged that we need to make the things that were wronged, we need to make them right, and we need to start from somewhere, then we have the same people saying, where is government? Government is here. Government is here to ensure that we are no longer protecting fraudsters. We have innocent Kenyans who bought that land, who did not do the due diligence that needed to be done. What we should be discussing as senators, as legislators, is, do we have a lacuna in law in terms of protecting victims of fraudsters? But coming to discuss that, let us continue protecting conmen and fraudsters who are grabbing land and then selling this land to innocent Kenyans, that is not what we are supposed to do as legislators. So for those of you who are asking, where was government? That same question should be posed. Where was government? That government that was actually allowing and protecting fraudsters.
What's your point of order,
Madam
Senator?
Speaker.
I resume your seat, Gloria. What's your
Speaker,
point of order?
can the Honorable Senator tell us who is protecting fraudsters among the people who have spoken?
Senator Gloria, who is protecting fraudsters? Can you
Madam
respond?
Speaker, I think maybe it is an issue of interpretation or lack of understanding. But if we have all agreed that land was grabbed, illegally sold, people settled, why then would we be saying that let us not deal with the issue of land grabbing? That in itself is protecting fraudsters. Because we are trying to say that those people who have constantly conned Kenyans, and they continue to do so, because they know that people will come and say, oh, let us protect the victims. We have to look into how to protect the victims within the law. Let us discuss on bills on how victims can be protected. But Madam Speaker, we cannot be, as legislators who are law-abiding, discuss on how we are going to continue aiding land grabbers. Madam Speaker, that is my point. And Madam Speaker, because of time...
Senator Gloria, would you wish to be informed by Senator
No, I do not wish to be informed. Madam Speaker,
So
I think...
she does not wish to be informed.
Madam Speaker...
Senator Kavindu, she does not wish to be informed.
Madam Speaker, I want to applaud DCI because we have seen that they have come out without fear of whatever political divide, and they have listed those alleged criminals who are now looking for political favor to be protected in all sorts of forms. Madam Speaker, we want to say to DCI, those are the people we want to parade out there and make sure that we even bring back the money if they have property. We take, in fact, the houses that they are living in, we are supposed to resettle the victims in their houses. That is what we should be discussing today, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, as I conclude, I want to say this, that we cannot ignore that we have reports that we need to implement. The Ndumu report must be implemented, and this issue of land grabbing must be dealt with as a whole, beginning with what the President is starting with today.
Senator Catherine Muma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for opportunity to contribute to this. Madam Speaker, this motion came because of the sad pictures of people's houses being brought down. Madam Speaker, what we are discussing today is an issue of ensuring that this country gets back to law and order. Madam Speaker, we have court rulings, 2011, in Garissa on how to deal with evictions. We have a ruling in 2013 on how...
Senator Kathy Hold. Senator Chiradige, what's your point of order?
Madam Speaker, I rise on standing 105 on responsibility for statement of fact. Senator Catherine Muma has indicated that we are here because of the sad pictures that we saw of what is happening in Mavoko. While we know very well, Madam Speaker, that the reason demolitions are happening in Mavoko, in Athi River, the land belongs to Portland, was a case that was adjudicated in a court of law, and there was a court order that was being implemented by a private entity company called Athi River Portland. Is it in order for her to mislead Kenyans that the reason we are discussing this motion is because we saw pictures of houses being demolished, Madam Speaker? Is it in order can be responsible for the statement of the fact that is saying before the House, Madam Speaker?
Senator Chiradige, let me give a direction on that matter. Hold your horses, Senator Osotsi. I have given a direction in this House that the style and the manner in which a senator chooses to debate their points cannot be the discretion of the other senator. It is the preserve of the senator who is debating the issue. So, Senator Kadhi, proceed and...
Madam Speaker,
you cannot raise a point of order when there is no senator on their feet. Senator Osotsi, you know the rules.
Madam Speaker, the outcry about the manner in which evictions have been done, whether those victims are victims or land grabbers, is what brought the attention of this House to the matter that is there. And you will check, you will not find a court order that said demolish. There is no such court order. Madam Speaker, the point I was making is this, that it is high time as a country we started respecting the rule of law. So that land was grabbed and allocated to people. Who registered the schools? Who registered the churches? Who gave the planning permissions? Madam Speaker, it's not about pointing a finger at the opposition or the government. It is many people here who have slept on the job. And this House needs to move in a manner that we can even set an inquiry to get to the bottom of this, because this is recurring every so often. Madam Speaker, in 2011, 1,100 families were evicted in Garissa, and the courts found that government did this wrongly. It also happened in 2013 when the ruling said the Muthurwa evictions were not done properly. Madam Speaker, we must not hand over this country to private actors to actually evict people. A government that is trying to encourage housing needs to find out how do we resolve these issues. I am not here to defend anybody, and anybody who knows any culprit or grabber, regardless of which party they are in, even if it is my ODM party, please name them. That is why we are here.
Honorable Senators,
So I would suggest, okay.
Honorable Senators, pursuant to Standing Order 34-2A, I will add an extra 10 minutes so that the few senators who are waiting to debate may most likely have a chance to debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I have 1 minute going. I just wanted to say, as a House, I am pleading. I think many departments have slept on the job on this matter. Rather than look at this politically on who is speaking and who is doing what, we need as a House to be that entity that will be responsible enough to look at this matter objectively. If it means we set up a committee to go and find out which department did its job, which department did not do its job, so that we can resolve this thing and stop the next evictions that are going to hurt Kenyans. Thank you.
Your time is up, Senator. Senator Cherarike, it's your time. And honorable senators, if you can avoid the point of orders for the few minutes, then a few more would debate.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to thank you and thank that we are discussing this adjournment motion on the evictions that is happening in Machakos County. Madam Speaker, I've seen allusions, and you know it's surprising that some people have double standards, Madam Speaker. One side they tell government respect the rule of law, the other side they encourage government to go for impunity. Madam Speaker, I am surprised and perturbed. While I empathize with Kenyans who they were innocent purchasers, Madam Speaker, it is sad that individuals want to encourage government to break the law, yet at the same time say the government should have a rule of law. In the functions of presidency and president, there is nowhere that says the president can cancel a court order. I have never seen it. If anybody was genuine in supporting the victims of innocent purchase of land, they should have assisted them in a court of law. Not going for press conferences, not going and intimidating the police officers who are implementing the court order, Madam Speaker. I want to say the government shall follow the rule of law and implement the court order as is, Madam Speaker. Secondly, I want to laud the DCI for naming, including even